Did the Fed just deliver an early Christmas present to the markets? Stay tuned to find out what the Fed chair said, what happened in the markets last week, and also a key development from the G20 summit.
A strong week in the markets last week led to most of the U.S. indices now positive again for the year, with the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ leading the way, up over 5%, and the S&P up just under 5% last week. Now, the Russell 2000 is the only U.S. index that's negative still for the year, and it's only down about 1%. Foreign and emerging markets were also positive last week, foreign up about 1%, and emerging markets up just under 3%. But year to date, foreign markets down 9% and emerging still down about 12%. So today we're looking at a chart of the S&P 500 again, and last week I talked about an important support level on the S&P 500, and that actually held last week, and what we saw was a nice bounce in the markets with good performance out of the US markets. I want to focus today on the blue box to the right of the chart and two potential patterns that could be forming here on the S&P 500. The first pattern is called a double bottom, and in October and November there were two market sell-offs with corresponding moves higher that were put into place, and this could be a bullish signal for the market only if the S&P 500 can break above the top blue line at around 2820. If the S&P 500 does not break through the top blue line, it could be forming what's called a triple top pattern, which is a bearish signal, and we could see similar downside moves that we saw in October and November.
There were two major pieces of news that came out last week. First, Jerome Powell had a speech on Wednesday, and he delivered the news that all of the bulls were waiting to hear, that the Fed is going to look to slow down interest rate hikes and also slow down the tightening of their balance sheet. Now, this is something that we were hoping to hear because a lot of confidence was lost in the markets over the past two sell-offs, and hopefully this will spark the Santa rally that we've all been waiting for. The second major piece of news from last week was that the G20 summit kicked off on Friday in Argentina. And it opened with the United States, Mexico, and Canada signing a trade agreement. But all eyes were on the meeting between President Trump and President Xi from China. Although that meeting was cut short due to the passing of President Bush, but both parties were able to agree upon a truce in which no additional tariffs would be added for the next 90 days. And further discussions on this matter are going to be scheduled for December. Last week's news from the Fed led to a market rally that wiped out all of the previous week's losses. And hopefully the news coming from the G20 summit will provide us the momentum that we need for that record-setting 10th straight year of positive returns.
But there's starting to be some rumblings under the surface that trade negotiations between the US and China haven't gone so well, and that there won't be a trade deal within the next 90 days. And this could put a real damper on this market rally.
Thanks for watching, and we strive to give you everything that you need to know about the markets in 5 minutes or less.
Like our Facebook page and share our video. Thanks.